Hello, I'm Andrew G. Marshall, and if you're watching this video, you're in a pretty dark place. Your wife doesn't love you, but you love her a huge amount. You want to make the relationship work, but you haven't got the first idea where to start. So I've got a whole set of ideas that will hopefully help you move forward from this dark and dismal place. Now, this is going to seem terribly obvious, but you could actually listen to her. I know you have listened to her, but what I mean is really listen to her. So rather than trying to persuade her that actually it's not as bad as this and coming up with lots of solutions, I want you just to listen and then listen some more. And when you've listened some more, I want you to listen a little bit more. How do you do that? Well, you repeat back some of the key points she's made, like you don't do enough around the house, or you don't help out when my mother's here, or whatever it is. Give back those key points because it makes her feel that you've heard her. You can nod your head, you can say yes, but really listen. And you can actually ask a couple of questions. You can say things like, tell me more, or you could say, how does that make you feel? But what you're going to be doing is listening to her, because when women feel listened to, they feel loved. It's as simple as that. Right, let's go on to the second thing that's going to help your wife love you again. Now, one of the main reasons you haven't been listening to her is because what she's been saying has been horrible. She's been angry, and we don't like anger, I'm afraid, men. We either want to fix it, or actually the easiest way to fix it is to run away from it. And we think, oh well, we'll listen when she's calmer. But actually, if you don't love her, all of her, she's going to feel like you only like the nice bits of her. And who wants to be with a partner who likes the nice bits? Because unfortunately we have nasty bits too. And anger is not as frightening as you think. I've got a key idea for you to think about, and that is, often when somebody is distressed, it comes across as anger. So her upset, which might be about the children, it might be about the price of beans, but it comes across to you as anger. Some of it might be about you, but actually, even if she is angry with you rather than just distressed, the great news is if you stay and listen to it rather than run away, the anger will burn itself out. What happens to anger that isn't expressed? It goes inwards as resentment. Resentment sticks forever. Anger can burn itself off. So if your wife is angry with you, trust me, that's a good sign, because it still means she cares and she's expressing things, and that anger can be burnt off if you only listen to her. Our temptation as men is we want to do the nice things, like buy a box of chocolates. But this truly is the really nice thing you can do. Don't run away from her anger. Now, the next one is be a better father. Now, you're going to spit at me, I expect, at this moment, because I'm sure you are a fabulous father. In fact, probably one of the best fathers going. And that might be the problem, because how men feel they should be as far as a father is concerned often is things that women take for granted. How do we be a good father? It's simple. We become a good provider. And let's face it, the family does need a lot. And the temptation is to spend so much time at work and put so much energy into work, not because you want to be there, but because you want to be a good provider, you want to be a good father. But unfortunately, your children and your wife don't see that part, because you're either up in your office at home or you're off on the road somewhere. They're not actually seeing all that work. They don't see those sacrifices. They don't appreciate it because they can't see it. Now, I know you still need to provide, but if you can do some of the fun parts of being a father, playing with your children more, or some other things that aren't quite so much fun but are still actually deeply rewarding, like picking your children up from places, it will really make your wife aware that you are a vital part of the family, and if you love her children, she will love you too. I hope I haven't made you angry with me about that, but It helps over and over again. You want to do it, you're going to do it tomorrow. Don't do it tomorrow. When they're older or whatever, do it now. And this is going to be a strange one as well. I'd like you to be more honest with her. Now, what do I mean by that? The problem is lots of men who get into this position that you are in are people pleasers. They do things that their wives want, or what they think their wives want. They don't necessarily always want them themselves, so they do it either with a heavy heart, which is never really very pleasant, or they say yes to her face and then they find an excuse a few minutes later not to do it, like I'm busy, I'm watching the Formula One, or 1,001 other things. She can't actually have an open and honest conversation with yes, but not getting around to do it. So I have a statement that I'd like you to think about that I use over and over again. You'll find it in my books, which is I can ask, you can say no, and we can negotiate. So she can ask you to do something, and you can say no, or maybe, and then you can negotiate, because it's perfectly possible you could do something similar, or you could do it tomorrow, but don't say yes and not get round to it. Say no and negotiate. If you follow my 4 tips, that's going to make a huge contribution to making your wife love you. You're going to need a lot of support if you're going to do this particular journey. And don't worry, I have support for you, because I've written a whole book on this subject, which is called My Wife Doesn't Love Me Anymore, the Love Coach Guide to Winning Her Back. I do hope you get a copy of it, because I think it will be a real asset in your campaign. Good luck.